Hello and welcome. Let's just go ahead and get started. So, I like to use a definition of mindfulness from John Kabat-Zinn because it's brief and it's to the point. So, I'll go ahead and read that to you. So, mindfulness is this awareness that arises from paying attention in a particular way, on purpose, moment by moment, and non judgmentally. Kind of a lot, right? So how do we pay attention, really? What he's basically saying is we're trying to pay attention to where we are in time in this moment in a non-judgmental way and with kindness if possible. Because, life is really hard at times for most of us, and at other times it can be really wonderful. And so a key element of mindfulness is to really be able to cultivate this curious attention, this curious and kind attention on all of our experiences, because all of our experiences are going to be filled with a lot of pleasure and sometimes pain. So to move a little bit forward with this, the mind is generally worrying about the future, or it's ruminating about something in the past, and we can't really get away from that. That's just what our mind typically does on a day-to-day basis. But what this can do if we're really stuck in the past or stuck in the future is it can lead us to miss out on the present moment, big time sometimes. And in the present moment is where we know that we are most alive, that we are growing, that we might be healing from really hurtful past experiences, or where we're making decisions for our future. So that said, most of us live on autopilot quite often. We're lost in thought quite often. And in those kind of moments, our minds are just, untrained to stay in the present. And so again, this is a very normal quality of human life. But what this can do is this can lead us to not being present for those amazing moments that I was referring to earlier, or things that we've been planning for or excited for. We just end up sort of missing out on what pleasure that stuff can bring us. So I have an example for you. Have you ever been planning for a big trip or a big vacation, or just really looking forward to something, and you've had it all planned out, and once you're there, maybe you're already another step ahead and you're thinking about the next vacation or the next big party or the next thing, right? So I think we've all been there at some point or another. And what you realize is you're not really getting the fullest out of that present moment. All of that planning is sort of passed on to the future. And so training our mind using mindfulness can make it easier for us to really experience life as it is, and to be with what we want it to be with, to have our mind be where we want it, whether that be on vacation or, sometimes these uncomfortable realizations that we might have where, it's a natural learning process and we grow from. So that's a brief introduction into mindfulness. So I'd like to just just jump in, and let's go ahead and begin with a short mindfulness practice as your first practice. And what this practice will help us do is to bring us here into the moment, into this room, and into your body. All right. So it's called a grounding mindfulness. And it won't take long. It'll take just about 5 minutes. And so what I'd like you to do is just find a comfortable posture. And what that looks like is both feet on the floor, hands in your lap or at your side, and back against your chair. So you want to be in this kind of alert posture, but not so alert where you're up stiff, right? But where you're relaxed, but not so relaxed where you might fall asleep. All right, so somewhere in between. And what I want you to do is just go ahead and follow my lead. And I'd like for you to allow just your eyes to gently close if that feels okay. Or you can lower your gaze to somewhere right in front of you. And I call this gaze a relaxed gaze, where your eyes are, gently unfocused, and, your vision might be a little bit blurry. So we'll go ahead and get started. And allow again your eyes to gently close, if that's okay. And bring your attention into the areas of contact that your feet have with the floor. Maybe feeling into your feet. Noticing the solidarity or the solidity of the floor underneath your feet. Feeling its stability. Maybe feeling where your shoes are in contact with your feet. Or perhaps with the floor. And just really feeling into your feet. Taking a couple breaths here. And now moving onto your seat and noticing where it has contact with the chair. And allowing the ground and the chair to hold and support your body without your needing to do anything. In this moment, you're not asking your body to do anything, but be supported. Now moving your attention to your back. Noticing where your back touches the chair. Perhaps there's different pressures on different parts of your back. And can you feel the difference between where it has contact with the back of your chair and where it doesn't? Now moving your attention to your hands, just feeling into your hands. Maybe notice the position of your hands. Perhaps they're in your lap, on your thighs, on your chair next to you. Perhaps they're touchy. You might ask yourself in this moment, how do I know I have hands if I can't see them? And you just know, right? You can feel them. You can feel your hands from within. Now opening the awareness, feeling your entire body sitting here in this moment, in your chair. And for the last minute or so of our short meditation, is just bringing your attention to your breath. And if you like here, you can take a few deep breaths in, just really feeling your breath coming into your body and leaving your body. And you might ask yourself, where do I feel my breath the most? Or what sensations are the most pleasant about my breath? Do I feel my breath at my nostrils, where my air comes in? At the back of my throat? Perhaps in my chest? In the belly? wherever your breath is, just notice it. Using that place as an anchor for your attention. And this is where you come back to anytime that you notice that your mind has wandered off, as it will. But this point where you notice your breath the most is where you'll always come back to. And now just let yourself just breathe. And there's no need to make your body do anything more. Just allow your breath to do what it does so naturally. And when you notice that your attention is somewhere else, just gently bring it back to that anchor, into your breath. Bell, and that will end our short mindfulness practice and signal you to come back to this room, perhaps opening your eyes if they were closed, maybe wiggling your fingers and toes. All right, so thanks for participating in that mindfulness. So I'd like you to, or I guess I invite you to, commit to a practice for this week, using this grounding mindfulness. It's sort of like if you want to be fit and you want to be healthy, you put in time for exercise on a regular basis, right? And so the same is true for this mindfulness practice. It works if you use it, and it doesn't if you don't, right? So you can make this a daily practice in the next week or so for maybe 1 to 5 minutes, practicing at any point in time during the day. Some people make it more structured, others might not. You can practice in your car, in your room, at home, while you're eating. Sort of not restricted to anywhere, really. But the most important part is just making a commitment to yourself that you will practice, again, 1 to 5 minutes, every day over the next week. And also just be flexible to let life happen, because life gets in the way sometimes and we can't practice when we want to practice, but you can maybe make room to practice at different times.